phone call off the lovely lass that is my girlfriend in the middle of that. And I think that's what the problem was. Unless mentioning Epstein or something glitched out and they were throttling me. But then again, you have to ask yourself, there's a lot bigger channels out there than mine talking about this stuff, lads. Talking about the wrongins. The wrongins up there at the top of the halls of power, just noncing people off and blackmailing lads. Getting sick of the fucking crack now, lads. They're all on drugs. Boring. Yeah, do check out the Hardy Books podcast. It's good crack. You have to go off this platform, and I know getting off this platform, it's like, ooh, don't know about that, man. Ooh, don't know about that, man. I should have brought my microphone over here. Myself and Stevie, the Cowboy Kelly, were doing a couple of gigs there down in Port Arlington and Leash at the Anvil Inn. That was brilliant crack. Good old crack. There was a couple of boys, man. Couple of boys, Jack and the boys. They were playing for the Leash senior team, and there was a lot of drink being consumed. There was an awful lot of people drinking and having the crack, and there was a lot of heckling done, and kept fucking putting me off. Like it was just non-stop shouting, and so at one stage I said, "Do you know what? Why don't you come?" He goes, "When's the comedy starting?" And I said, "Do you know what? The comedy starts now when you come up and you do a 5-minute set here up on stage." And I was like, "Please come up." And I was like, "Everyone, what's your name?" And everyone was Jack. And I was like, "Bring him up, bring Jack up. Jack will do 5 minutes here." It could be a good change of career. You could actually be really good. It could have actually backfired on me. And he could have just taken over the mic and then just, bombed or just killed it. And everyone was like, "Fuck, go on, Jack, lad." But he didn't do that. But I have to say, it was great fun, and we really got looked after. And if any of you are around on Saturday night, we're in McHugh's in Drada. So that'll be good old crack. And then I'm back off to the land of data collection and pie chart compilators, which is also known as Sweden. Great engineering, but quite a boring fucking place at times. Now, if you're into doing a bit of motorsport, that'd be great crack. Or if you're into like snowboarding. But unfortunately, I haven't got into that kind of stuff myself. Boring. Fucking Joshua Davis, Sapon and La. All right there, Joshua Ludd. Leona Shamana, you look cool. Thanks very much. So do you. Ha ha. So we've got 19 people watching. Ask me questions in the chat to get the ball rolling on the chat. Talking about loads of depressing stuff like Iran and all that. Boring. That's just another complete and utter fucking waste of time, and who knows what that's going to happen? What will happen? Will it be World War III? I don't know. What does a World War III mean? Is that going to be like conventional weapons? Like, fair play to Sweden. Good on you, Sweden and Finland. You got out of your or Sweden got out of its 200 years of neutrality there. So good on you, Sweden. That was a really good idea. That was, yeah. And the Wallenbergs is in the Rothschilds of Sweden, who own all the major industries there. They supply they make the Archer artillery system, the Saab Griffin jets, and a lot of the stealth submarines and what have you. The military of Sweden, the Wallenberg family make quite a considerable king's ransom off manufacturing that. So that's good news for them. Those boys would be grand. And they also have the money just to like take a jet to Fiji if it kicks off, while the rest of us are going, what's gonna happen? But one side I'm like, fuck it, like if a rocket comes and we're fucking done quick, do you know what I mean? Like the game is over. We all respawn back in the lobby of souls, and we're like, fucking hell, man, you went out well. Look at this action replay. Who knows? It's should be crazy out there. WBKX 7JW Martin, is there tickets on sale for Drawhead or what's the crack? Yeah, if you go on to the $3 left, you'll get the tickets there. I'm a lovely lad. When's the next podcast coming? I'm waiting for the henchman Chris Gavigan to drop down microphones so I can then upload it and to record that. We'll do a job on it. Thanks for asking. Noah's Park Wanderer, you'd be great on the James Conway podcast. He'd be able to let loose. Tell you one thing, he was. There was one spicy episode there on the Stevie's podcast. But I'd love to see lads like him on television. Do you know what I mean? Like, one thing that I've noticed about being back in Ireland, nearly everybody you speak to outside of the realms of journalism, television, or academia, most people you just meet have sentiments that are radically different from those that are coming from TV. And it's no wonder that television ratings are sliding off the charts because there's no voices really that just say it plainly in layman's terms. And anytime you listen to like when you listen to the news, they have this tone of voice that implies they need to talk to you in such a way that you're being scolded for not being in TV yourself. On Gordonshire Corner were called to the residence at 4 a.m. when the young man was seen shirtless in the garden chanting, ooh ah, up the Ra, ooh ah, up the Ra. Well, Durkin man says, era BPM. Could you shout out the brave fella and tell him to clean up his act and get back on the drink? Get back on the drink, brave fella. Ka-cha. Joshua Davis, Shake 348. They make the new Neo anti-tank weapons, I believe. Yeah, I mean, sure. Look, one thing about Sweden, right? They've been great. Oh, we are very diplomatic and very peaceful people. We are very, very concerned about humanitarian issues. But then they will go off and make missile components and some state of the art Swedish steel explosives. I mean, it was Alfred Nobel who was the Swedish inventor who invented dynamite, and he was so dismayed that his invention had led to catastrophic amounts of death on the battlefield that they named the Nobel Peace Prize after Alfred Nobel. Now the problem is nobody learned from that, so it was just a totemistic gesture of, all right, Alfred, look, I know you're sad about this invention of yours, but to be fair, it does kill a lot of people in a fast. So think of it in a good way that they're dead quick, mate. So yeah, so the Peace Prize nowadays, like what the fuck is they give that to any old clown? Like, myself and Pete Cassidy nearly went to the Nobel Peace Prize a couple of years ago. You can apply to go, and there's a couple of days of seminar, and we were fucking go down there, man. Yeah, be a bit of crack. We get a dinner out of them. Noah Spar Wanderer says TV has to be in line aesthetically with a political stick so that people who watch it can't differentiate between reality and TV shows. You see, the whole idea of media, the whole idea of journalism, and the point of it in terms of why it exists, why it should exist, is to inform the citizenry of that country as best as possible and as to be as balanced as possible as to what's happening in order for them to then give consent or retract consent to policies made by lawmakers. Now, when there's money to be made, or there's a bit of a scheme going on, and lads are going to make money, it just seems to be it covers shit up nowadays. Do you know what I mean? This doesn't sound very academic of me, but it's just become PR and just PR and propaganda, whereas journalism in its purest form is there to be objective, and the idea of truth is there. Like, if you're going to build a bridge, or if you want to send a satellite into space, or you're mixing something up in chemistry, you have to use you have to be 100% truthful and accurate in how you go about crafting or designing or building something, or else it won't work. Especially in when it comes to like a like 100 times smaller than a rib of hair. You know, there is with precision engineering, for example, you can't you can't have any margin of error for certain things. So I'll give you an example. In Sweden, they have a thing we euphemistically named the Corona Bridge. It's called the Golden Bridge, and it's in an area in the center of town that they're redeveloping called Slusen. So this bridge was built in China. It was designed in Sweden, apparently, built and assembled in China, and then it was transported all the way around the world on the back of a massive transport ship, taken by a huge crane and dropped in as one piece. And I don't know how long the bridge. I think it's over 200 meters long. It's massive. Now that wouldn't have been able to work the if the measurements were off by a fraction of a degree. But yet that works. But when it comes to media and people, what that should be the job, is to be as objective and as truthful as possible. Then everyone knows where they stand. It's like building a bridge. If you make up a whole lot of bullshit about the dimensions of the pillars of the bridge, and how the suspension or the arch of the bridge is going to be designed, it's going to fall down. People are going to die. But yet, when it comes to journalism and news coverage, it's fucking write what they want. The paper doesn't refuse ink, and that's because there are many people who like to hide criminality or mistakes. And the thing is, most people, they're happy enough to just watch series on TV or sports. To watch lads who are barely out of adolescence get paid more than they get paid in a lifetime in a week to kick a ball around, and they pay their own money to Sky News and to buy tickets in order to vicariously share in the achievements of these young men on the pitch. Look, and I like football and sports as much as the next man. But, last year, my favourite Premier League team, Liverpool, won, as they did in 2020 with the asterisks beside it because of the whole lockdown thing. And I was like, for years, I was like, brilliant, man, Liverpool going to win the league. And afterwards, I was like, well, how's my life any different? Like, and like they're in fifth place now, and whether if they get into the Champions League, great. If they don't, that's unfortunate. But they're all going to get paid a massive sum of money, and it's going to keep going on. Whereas, like, what's in it for the rest of us these days? Do you know what I mean? What's in it for the rest of us? And it's not me shitting on sports. It's just when you see the imbalance of payment, or salary, and you're thinking, people talk about boomers. I was talking to CM Fox here on X about how selfish boomers were, because they're the ones who like, oh, when I was your age, I had a house and I had 2 cars and a business. I don't know if I wouldn't say they're inherently selfish about it, but I just think they were living through a time where money was more plentiful, and there was more there was more of the pie to go around. But since the invention of credit cards and payday loans and just ridiculously like careening interest rates, it's getting progressively worse. And I think, personally speaking, that the head of this snake that's fucking us all is the financial system. It's usury. Like we're like, it's a stealth tax. But the thing is, like I was saying about box sets and sports, it's something that they won't explicitly educate you on in school, unless you choose to do economics or business in third level education. And I think all of us as citizens need to be informed, not in terms of like, not to be getting political, but just understand how how finance works, and to to audit where our money goes. Like, where the fuck does our tax go? Is the other question. At least in Sweden, you can see that the state of the art bridges, which is the most expensive part of civil engineering infrastructure. There's bridges everywhere. Great healthcare system, education, and when you look at Ireland, it's like, yeah, we get new stretches of motorway that we just have to pay tolls to French companies then who take they'll come in, they'll build the road, and then we pay the toll then. What the fuck I'm on about, lads? Okay, let me go back over your questions, lads. Maybe I'm alone in this, but Stevie would be funny on Kill Tony. Great character. You know what? He would be very funny on it, actually. He certainly wouldn't give a shit. Okay. Do you keep in touch with Tordoff? No, haven't seen the man in 9 years. Don't know anything about him anymore. In the words of the main character from Stand By Me, just another face in the hall. Sad but true. What are you gonna do? Landormer, how are you doing, lovely lad? I'd rather that than right, bruv. The next program is gonna be well jokes. Miss Brown's boys up next. Value engineering in the construction sector, says Eddie Greenhart, referring to the old YouTube episode of Seamus Mortimer holding interviews for the next project manager. Did you get the head wet? Stick Bubble God, how are you doing, Amanda? Affect football. I wander back later, lads. And I look, like I said, I enjoy it as much as fucking, it's something in my daft naive teenage years. I was like, I want to be a footballer, even though I was average enough and didn't play on the team. Do you know what I mean? But one could always dream. Yeah, I mean, but we used to play football every day. I used to love it, and we were very passionate about our chosen teams. Boring. Yeah, but it's like talking about the weather after a while. It's kind of like the same things. Leverkusen in the Champions League playing Man United this year or this week. It's going to be fantastic. We're over there in Germany to find out the scores on the ground. Our sports correspondent. The way that the way you have like middle-aged men then sitting in suits in studios going, great. And what do you think about the tactics there? Yeah, very good. Yeah, great. Well, I think they're all. I'd like to hear them talk about other shite as well as just football, man. Hear what their opinions are on, trade relations between Belgium and Antigua. Do you know what I mean? Dave 93. Oh, we'll go back up a touch more. Kieran 6766. How do you think the 17th of March will go when Micheál Martin goes to visit Trump and hand over the Shamrocks? That's going to be an interesting one. We got Michael Martin over here, and he's got a beautiful bunch of shamrock. It means so much to me. The leprechauns of Ireland, they're over here, and they're beautiful. The Irish people are fantastic. I don't know how it's going to go over. I mean, like, look in the. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. They're both controlled by AIPAC. They're both compromised, and whoever becomes the president you may as well be the manager of a McDonald's. And the only thing is you get to decide on what playlist is played. Do you want hard rock or do you want K-pop? Do you know what I mean? It's all gonna they're gonna go and they're gonna kowtow to the military industrial complex and the Israelis. They're gonna do exactly what they say. And the only difference is the decor. That's the only fucking difference, really. And it's just depressing to watch it. But I think the majority of people in Ireland, they've just looked at. It's all right. Let's look at the last 6 years. Pandemic happens. We've had a good few of our years stolen. It fucking set me back big time, personally speaking. This country went fucking nuts. I think Ireland was on the verge of a civil war, and othering people who refuse to take a medical procedure that was sponsored by Bill Gates, a man who goes on a TED talk and talks about reducing the carbon, as in human beings, by 20% by using reproductive healthcare and the V word. I don't want to say it in case I get blackballed, but and so many are still still find that contentious, and there are probably people who are going to switch off me talking about it, but they took 2 years, the majority of 2 to 2.5 years of our freedom away, and like this country was crazy. If you didn't take it, you had to sit outside in the piss and rain, and it was like, you can't come in here. You are potentially a biohazard that needs to be quarantined. There was that. Then when the clouds started parting on the lockdown, then the war starts in Ukraine, and the same wankers who were pushing out this gaslighting on social media then switched to celebrating the fact that people were being killed, especially Russians. Look, and I'm going to remain objective on this. Again, I don't want to see people fucking killed for profit. I'm anti-war. I'm an anti-war pacifist. If it was World War One, I would fly the white feather, and I'd say, yeah, fucking give me the white feather. Yeah, sound. Yeah, objective, or what? A conscientious objector. Yeah, I don't agree to this. Like, I agree that every country should have the right to defend itself, and yeah, you can use that argument for Ukraine, or you can use that for any country, for Israel or for Palestine. A country, sovereign entity, whether they're engaged in war, they do have the right to. Every country should have defense, right? But there's defense, and then there's just completely obliterating and collectively punishing the other side with the most egregious, barbaric measures imaginable that completely erodes any sympathy that you would have got in the first place. But I digress. Fucking sick of listening to me all shite. But yeah, so there was that, right? There was the whole Ukraine war. Then it was Israel and Gaza, and now it's this. So this has all happened in the space of the last 6 years, and then they talk about Trump is going to release the UFO files. I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this. If they said aliens were here, in fact, if they brought a fucking alien out to a press conference, and this is fucking Z from Gerenth 7. He's here now. He's come from the Zeta Reticuli constellation. It's a grey alien called Z or Barry or whatever the fuck his name is. I'd be like, I don't give a shit, man. I'd be like, it makes no difference to me. Aliens, yeah, don't care. Reptilians are fucking greys, or mantids. I'd be like, yeah, so what? I wouldn't fucking give a shit. I'd be like, yeah, good on you, lads. Yeah, what now? Do you want to go as well? Are we going to be fighting these fellas, spreading democracy beyond the stars? I don't know, lads. I don't know. Dave 93Z. The rich look at their greed as necessity and look at the poor's necessity as greed. Well, when you look at the likes of your Bill Gateses or your Bezos, or these lads who are pushing it too far with AI, as in potentially opening Pandora's box, right? Box, but they're the kind of, let's say people are getting paid mad money to develop a weapon, and they're like, well, if we don't do it, China will, or so therefore we're going to have to continue developing this potential fucking Pandora's box, because or if it's like, oh, our company, if it, in terms of big business, well, if we don't do it, then someone else has just come along and they're going to do it. So that therefore justifies the existence of this huge company mopping up all of the wealth around it, like BlackRock or Vanguard or State Street. It's there's no need for that much. There's no need for people to hoard that much wealth, and anybody who does get taken to task, they just leave and they move somewhere else and take the money with them. They're loyal to no nation or border. They're what's known as a footloose industry. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's a bit too expensive, and that's why the Irish government are like, oh no, Apple, don't worry about that 6 million in tax. No, 6 billion. Oh, you take that. We'll take the few jobbings off you. Looks good on paper, GDP and all that shite. Free Ireland says Dexo 101. CM Fox, AI videos about polar bears nurturing a tiger cub back to health are going to be the downfall of the boomers. Do you know what? That's one thing I fucking can't stand about YouTube, and you're all probably well aware of this as well. The this cocky fighter went into the ring and thought he would laugh at his opponent. His opponent remained sharp. His footwork was on point, slipping and ducking, countering with a parry. The shots mesmerizing the other fighter's face. Those AI videos with these 11 lab voices, I dislike them to the same degree as parking attendants and clampers, who I consider it's a nice job for a cunt. Do you know what I mean? That is a nice job for a cunt, where you go out on the daily and you piss people off by giving them tickets, and tickets for often the most arbitrary fucking shite and tenuous reasons to give people these fines. I'm really venting today, and there's no thread as usual. Put him. I'll read Eddie Greenhart's comment there just to pivot to another strand. That's nothing I wanted. I wanted to be a Power Ranger. I'm going back to the footy. Mark Nafka Halid 775 said, hi, how are you doing? Kevin Klatt Productions, have you seen the state of Hardy Buck's house? Now, I have, and one of the cast foolishly gave the details to some idiot who put it up on Google Maps. The rest is history. Young Hansel, the cottager. Red Orange Berta, I'm after a heap of scallions, man. So it could be a biohazard here too. Ha ha. Lambie 970, Palestine, not really a country with an army, more of a territory with funding. Well, look at all of that area previous to the First World War was part of the Ottoman Empire. It was all one big block, and after Sykes-Picot and the Balfour Declaration, where the English and the French just came in and drew up lines, and it's been nothing but a fucking shit show since. But yeah, like, it's the remnants of policies caused by the British for many years. And what are you gonna do? An alien ant farm, hey, says Red Armchair Sporter. Eddie Greenheart, as long as the alien has his safe pass, he's sound. Do you know what? I mean, look, I'll throw this out there. Like, I wouldn't be like, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if there were aliens here, because things are that counterproductive and so bizarre. To me, anyway, I find things just so obvious that I feel like, and I'm the daft prick. I'd be the one who would eat criticism for what I would consider having some cop on. And at this stage, like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's aliens here. If it was this, I want to introduce you to a great specimen here. This is what's known as an alien. He's a beautiful guy. He's fantastic. Just look at his skin. It's almost translucent gray, very smooth to the touch. Not as warm as you'd think. He's kind of cool. It's almost like rubbing my hand over a stone, a pebble that's been smoothed by the waves of the great Atlantic Ocean. I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't give a fuck. If there was aliens here, I'd be like, sound, yeah. What can they offer us? Klingons, man, says Red Armchair Supporter. Nerves and a pattern 7261. How much blackmail does Israel have on the young Yanks? Oh, fucking who knows, man. I mean, what have they got on Lindsey Graham? Like that man. I travel to Israel every 2 weeks. I bet he does. I bet he goes to Tel Aviv and he goes into Rabbi Shmuley's dildo shop, and he's like, "Oh, I'm coming in for the big boy special." That look up the story about the moles, man. You know what? I'm actually going to tell you what I read once, that he'd hired a sex worker of the night to quad and ram him with his midnight hammer, and the guy started washing around the crack of his arse, and he started wiping these spots away, but they wouldn't move. And then the escort of the night looked down, and he noticed there was a cluster of moles all around his ass, right? And he goes, "Don't mind them. They're just my old ladybugs." That image was seared into my mind to the point where I was gipping, like nearly vomiting. And I've given that information to you guys too. Um, that AI slop shite. Other videos are the worst. Do you ever see these videos of like, I rescued this abandoned kitten, and then it'll just show like a compilation of, like, it'll be like a black cat, but then a panther, but then the people handling the animal are in like spanned across 3 different continents. It's just so what you have, from what I gather, right? You've got 11 labs. That's where you get these annoying voiceovers. So they'll go to ChatGPT, and it'll say, "Give me 10 facts about the Yautja from the Predator series, the Yautja," or it'll be this voice. This voice, the other one, it sounds a bit more gruff. It's just these. What it is it's these assholes who put all these clips out, yeah, and they get ad revenue from engagement. And what that does to us as people who would have frequented YouTube, it's them, YouTube's own way of trying to keep up with TikTok and with Instagram and Facebook. So the first, for me, every time I go onto YouTube, the first page um is shorts. Sometimes it could be an interesting one about like guitar licks. But often is the case, it's some. Do you ever see these ones? Like, right, you've got an objectively beautiful looking athlete, like a Polish sprinter, or like some lass from Czech Republic, and they're wearing like a thong, and it'll talk about the how great these performers. It's clickbait. It's clickbait for, you'll see an ass or a woman's shapely figure. Click on that. Yeah, good job. And then they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But it's ruining YouTube, man. It's ruining it. And one tip I give you, if you're regular YouTube users, and if you haven't done it already, just bite the bullet and get the just pay for the premium, because before I had that, like I was just so frustrated about seeing the same shitty adverts that I nearly threw the phone against the wall once. It's especially Sweden is the worst place. For some reason, Sweden has the advertising industrial complex where everything is, every building that has a company within it has to have the logo up on the wall in lights. So there's and if you're watching a TV show in Sweden, let's say like Pop Idol or something, each ad break has, they managed to squeeze 4 sponsored by, Felix Food, Coca-Cola, OLW Crisps. They'll stick about 4 or 5 sponsors in the middle of an ad break on each side. They'll bookend the ad breaks with more sponsors, and and what they do is they'll put the same sequence of adverts on. So you'll be watching a TV show, or let's say Scarface will be on TV5, and you're like, oh cool man, Scarface is on. Let's watch that. So a film that should be about 90 minutes turns into 2 hours and 10 minutes, and with 40 minutes of that, you're sat through the same sequence of adverts. That's why I don't watch TV anymore. because I just couldn't hack how annoying Swedish TV is, and they use the same characters in their adverts for 10 to 15 years, as if to say the Swedes are like, I love this advert. This guy is great. People who are living in Sweden will know what I'm talking about. Um, they just don't like anything new there. They just have to have the same shite all the time. Fucking Hollywood. That's another ball of shite, isn't it? Um, Liam Morley, how are you getting on? Good, Horseen. Um, how'd you get on with the case? Is this the one with the clamper or the parking the ticket? The judge phoned me up actually the day before, and I was gonna go in. I was looking forward to going in to represent myself in the halls of justice, and they phoned me up, and the parking company wanted to make a deal. They wanted 200 quid off me, and I got it down to 100 quid. So I ended up having to spend 100 more. But my whole modus operandi there was to try and make it as expensive for them as possible. So yeah, I'd be paying, but I would want to make them pay 15 times the value of what I had to pay. Kind of what the Iranians are doing with the Straits of Hormuz at the moment. Um, okay, we got CM Fox. His message is held for review. Tehran is getting lit up to fuck right now. Looks like the Yanks want to finish this thing early. Yeah, I mean, I seen some big bombs dropped over residential areas, and I mean that school being hit on Saturday. Like there was no need for it. It's Netanyahu's wet dream, and the Greater Israel Project. They want that area, and I tell you one thing: there, half of me thinks that the states is getting set up for failure on this, and the only ones who are gonna, it's certainly not gonna be the poor bastards who were sent there. Like I heard that on the Gerald Ford, there were people on board who were stuffing t-shirts into the toilets to block them because they didn't want to go to war. And those Fata 2 missiles, man, if they start lobbing them at there's no, they're like Mach 15. There's no way of intercepting them. The whole thing is fucking ridiculous. Like, yeah, there's a lot of Iranians who they don't want to live under a theocracy, and I don't know what the solution to that is, because they can't leave. I think, like, I remember I used to go wrestling, and there was a really nice Iranian lad, and I tell you one thing, for a small fella, he bundled me up. Like he was an absolute kebab merchant. Like he was about half my size, but geez, man, that lad had good technique and strength. But I was talking to him about it, and he said they're only allowed one visa to leave, and they can't go back. And I had a friend of mine and the lads who we met in Stockholm about 20 years ago. He he got caught drinking, got 80 lashes, and then he got caught drinking again, so he just fucked off and he went moved to Australia. Like I am there are there are people living there who they don't want to live under a they prefer to live under a secular state, which is fine. But the answer isn't lobbing missiles and violent subversive overthrowing of a government, and dressed up like it's has nothing to do with Western intelligence and Israeli intelligence. Um, and the majority of the victims of this is going to be children and civilians. And I'm sick of it. It's been like since I was 18. There has been none, even before that. Like, but from 9/11 onwards, I think the states has been at war. I think it's been at peace for 10 years out of its 240 years of existence. The founding fathers had written no foreign entanglements, and to or I don't know if it was George Washington's farewell speech, where he outlaid like no favor, or I'm paraphrasing it, or contempt for foreign nations, no foreign entanglements. and the whole point of it was to have a well-regulated militia to for threats, foreign and domestic. It didn't say anything about a standing army that it has nowadays. It's turned into an empire, and the thing is, like, I really love the States. Generally, like the American people are very, by and large, very good people. When you go there, it's great fun, and it's cool. You know, there's a lot. There's and it makes me feel sad for the ordinary citizens of the States that must be looking like this health insurance shit. Like how like their country is being completely siphoned off. It's like Daniel Day Lewis's character. You have your milkshake, I have my milkshake. Drainage. Someone's just draining all the resources. It's got to stop, man. People need to wake up. Um, Ho ho on the train home from work, Copenhagen, and see you on Martin. Mighty, a lad island. Solid Serpent, typical, can't have nice things, can't believe what people did to that cottage. Whoever they are, they're fucking assholes. And the cottage was in a very rural part of the town. And, you know, it's a bit like the broken window theory. Once there were elderly neighbours nearby, and the neighbours were too far down the road to do anything about it. And once there was signs of breaking and entering, that was it. Then the floodgates opened, and they tried to put boards up on the windows and doors. And then until some fucking complete degenerate little prick burnt it down. And I have a feeling that'll come out one day, because I'd say they wouldn't be able to keep their mouth shut, or one of them had filmed it. That'll come out one day. But I mean that's like, if they were supposed to be fans of the show doing that, they're no fucking fans. You know, they're dickheads, whoever they are, and they deserve bumishment with a nightstick. Um, the middle of the cottage was burned down, 2002, bad crack. Nothing sacred, no. I'm a good bit behind AI Kitten regarding to the Panther. Red Armchair Sport, thanks Martin. People who need to know about the Youcher, it's important. Solid Serpent, Clip Farms, people that their only goal is to peel money out of everything. Yeah, that's what it is. Same here. I got the premium just because of the annoying ads. Yeah, you know what? It's one thing I never look back on. And it's about 17. It's not cheap. It's about 17 quid a month. Like, it's more than HBO. But then again, I don't be the only time I'd be watching HBO is either to watch the Wire or Sopranos. Do you not use ad blocker? Unblock the Origin on the phone. Unblock Origin on the phone. Just get Firefox on the phone and install the add-on. Also plays the app in the background. By the way, does it? I didn't know that. And I tell you what, it wasn't for the want of trying Solid Serpent. I tried everything back in the day to avoid it. Like, I know that if you watch it on your browser, you can get away with it. Greasy Carl, big fan of Hardy Books. Hope you're doing well. I had to stop in because you randomly popped up. Cheers, Greasy Carl, lad. Parking. AI killing creativity. It really is. It really is. How's Big Mick these days? He's good. I'll have to go for a few Lutioners with him. There's a great pub in town, man. Moors. That's where the owl boy does be drinking. And I tell you one thing: the pints of stout. It's just you could fucking put a teaspoon up in the foam. It's that creamy. You look Trumpy, a Trump fan. Do you know what? Like, I used to like him back in the day, but I can't. I look at the whole setup. Was the whole thing a problem reaction solution? You know, it was like you had this kind of, all of a sudden we were living in an alternative fucking clown world of daft shite, and then you had this relic of the 80s talking common sense. So therefore, as a reaction to the woke nonsense that we were being bestowed upon, was it all top down engineered to divide people, the easily led on one side and those who would consider themselves to be just using common sense, in order to then create this illusion of a heated, contested battle for existential, an existential political battle, where it was like on one side you have fucking the likes of Sam Brinton, a bald-headed nuclear scientist that stole baggage from ladies at airports and then wore their outfits and jewelry at press conferences, and Rachel Levine and this kind of mad shit. And then on the other side you had fucking warhawk neocons. I mean, both sides are fucking useless, and the fruits of that now have been. When I get in there day one, the war in Ukraine is going to be finished. No, that hasn't happened. Gaza is still in ruins. Now another front has opened up. It's just, that's it, is it? That of a country that size, that's the best. That's the best choice. Fucking ridiculous, man. The Wire was class. Minulty and Bonk Morland were great yolks for the sauce and the fekin. They really were, man. They really were. Shit. Ireland 543211. What was the song you used to do a version of Martin by Blink 182? Don't blow your beans on me. You're already a dick inside my ass. I bombed you. Right, so we're up at the 47-minute line now. Do give this a like if you're watching it now or if you're watching it later on. It's just me chatting off the dome as usual on the phone, and I'm gonna invest in some better tech, and and also please do download the latest episode of the Hardy Books podcast. I shall be recording another one later on today and hopefully get that out tomorrow. And I'll be telling you the crack, but it will be in character, man. Down from the glen came the marching man. Good on you, Shinra 18. Bit of Thin Lizzy there, man. Do you like the old Tin Lizzies? Filling a job. Great old band. But yeah, get on that podcast. If you're bored, you're driving, you're looking for something that'll make you laugh before going to sleep, I guarantee you, the Hardy Books podcast, it's the one for you. And it's about 50 episodes there, going back to interviews with the other cast members from about 6 or 7 years ago, to other interesting cast members, or not cast members, just like fucking interesting people. Do give that a listen. But the last 11 episodes, which has taken me a year to do, it's called the Eddie Durkin Ramble, or Eddie Durkin Chat Pod, and you'll get a good kick out of them. The ones before were some kind of improv, kind of fake podcasts where we were playing different characters, and before that there was the Hardy Book. DD185, give us the best unknown Hardy Book story where your man where's your man Kofi? That's a man I didn't have to chase the top of the egg. Man, Kofi's a legend. He's one. Himself and Tommy Boo used to share a house in Galway, and the fucking crack in that place, man. I could there are things I couldn't say, but we used to really enjoy going to Galway back in the day, and then Galway got all serious. It was full of bodybuilding college students who were just sitting around gaffs watching Russell Howard's Good News and Ed Sheeran videos on BBC Three. And there was a kind of like, for a while, there was a lot of young yuppies just hanging out in Galway. But then Galway, the last few times I've been there, it's gone back to the old kind of relaxed pace. Thin Lizzy is after you. But I like your accent, says Andre, the cool guy. Thanks very much. Thank you. It's a compilation of lots of different places I've been. I listened to the latest podcast last week. It was very entertaining. Thanks very much, Red Armchair Supporter. Appreciate that. Shinra18, love your stateside video. To me, he really needs to play a minor warlord in Mad Max villain in Dune. I really want to do another video with him, actually, because those two stateside videos, they're fucking brilliant crack. You could tell me anything, and I'd remember it. And then you hear, I'm no Superman, and he goes, I'm no Superman. That's the best bit out of Scrubs. That's the best bit of it. The rest of it's a fucking ball of shite, man. What do you think of Scrubs, Tom? It doesn't do anything for me. It's fucking rubbish. He came over for a 2 week trip, and during the middle of his 2 week trip over, I went to the Reading Festival with Andy and Reese, which you can also see if you go back up the videos. I'd like to do more of them videos, actually, because they're great crack to make, but it just takes time. It takes time, and I feel like the payoff in views. I see. My problem is, I know I'm capable of making some brilliant content, but I also know that I have to sit down for a very long time and do the content. And it's, for me, the hardest part is sitting down, open up the laptop. Once I get started, then it's very difficult to stop. But what are you gonna do? I fucking spend all day just scrolling through fucking X, looking at other people making money off our engagement. Oh, Elon Musk. Where's stateside now? He's back in Sligo Town, Mahan. Back in Sligo Town. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you too. Shinra18 says, I'm easily distracted. I think everyone is, man. Like, even on X now, if I see a video that's over 2 minutes, I have to watch it twice the speed. I mean, what the fuck is this doing to our heads, man? Like I'm completely addicted to the phone. Like it's fucked me. Like I don't know what to do. It's worse now than it's ever been, especially when you look at the amount of crazy shit that's been happening around the globe. It's like we're watching some sort of macro episode of Game of Thrones, but we don't get to see the behind the scene character arcs. We're watching the maddest shit that, where we've got eyewitness accounts of the most insane, crazy shit unfolding on our phone. How much of it? I mean, from like fight clips to fucking car crashes to war. Like, how many people have we seen fucking killed on our phone in the last year? It's completely fucking desensitized to stuff that would have previously kept me awake. And like I wouldn't have been one of those fucking weirdos who would have just gone on to like Live Leak and looked at. I don't like that shit, man. And I think it blackens the soul. But I also think, like, when you're casually scrolling through a timeline on Twitter, for example, and you see the effects of violence, whether it be military or war or riots, like what's that doing to us collectively? Scott Stevens 6721. All these reels and short clips are ruining our brains really bad, more than anyone understands. I'm starting to really come to that, even with my own mind. Like, I was trying to do some writing last night, and I was just like, how can I fucking do this? And then there's the if you have to get something done, it's, oh, let's just go to ChatGPT. But then ChatGPT offers you some shit then, and then you still have to process all that and see if it's worth. It's like, I don't know. I think we need to get out and touch grass and like, it's, for me, I'll just fucking spend all day just scrolling, and it's like, right, I've got to get off it, one more, and it's actually it's scary. But if you think about it, before phones, it would be TV. You'd sit in front of a screen all day and just watch TV. And but at least back in the day, you'd be like, okay, there's the TV area. I might put some music on. I'll go over there and listen to the stereo, or I'll read or read magazines. But now everything is just on the phone. So you just sit there in bed or on a chair, just fucking scrolling the whole time, or in the car. Phones are the new cigarettes, man. Um, like, and I can see, you know, like I think the max here was like 21 viewers, and it's going down because I know that me talking, people are. I don't blame them. I would be sitting here going, I'd be like, all right, what else is on? I'll check in later. Like the amount of top notch quality videos that are out now, and I'm like, oh, I haven't got time to watch that. So for anyone who is watching this, thanks for sticking around this long and watching it, and I won't take up any more of your time. And I hope you've enjoyed chatting and watching this, and I hope I've made some sense. And thanks very much for sticking around. Um, but I'll just finish with these. Hence why there are more problems every day, because we are becoming less and less human. Fair enough. Bought 2 pizza bases yesterday. 3E. The world has gone mad. €3. You know, you're better off just making your own. It's actually, once you figure out how to make pizza dough, um, it's just get yeast, lukewarm water, bit of sugar, flour, and then let it rise. Make dough. Honestly, just watch how to make a minimale or Napoli pizza on a YouTube video, and like it's a bit of a hassle, and for me the hardest part is like to get, it's going to take a few goes to get the consistency right, and you're better off leaving it. Like, let's say if you want to if you want to make yourself a pizza for Friday, now's the time to make some dough, make enough for 4 pizzas, and then prepare all of the toppings in advance. And yeah, what I would do for the sauce, basil, garlic, tomato, bit of tomato puree, bit of sugar, and some herbs, and just blitz that. Make yourself the sauce. Get yourself some fresh mozzarella, and start making your own. Put a bit of chorizo and some honey chili drizzle on that, and you're good to go, man. You're good to go. Shinra, I remember watching shock and awe on the TV news as a kid in bed one night. That was mad for the first live war. Yeah, yeah, I remember that as well. I was 20 when that happened. Do you know what? I can safely say that all throughout my child and teenage life, I was just watching American films, war films that glorified military interventionism. And if I was living in the States, there's not a fucking shadow of a doubt that I wouldn't have joined up and joined the war, because I would have done 100%. I would have done, and that's the other thing, that's the sad element about it. The best and the bravest of young men are you know, they're they sign up to this because, like, they're not picking, they don't pick lads in their mid 30s with kids. They get 18 to 22-year-olds who are idealistic, and their frontal lobe hasn't finished. They don't understand, or hasn't finished developing it, and they don't understand the nuances of the it's a young man's fight, old man's war, a bunch of old men fighting, and in the words of System of a Down, why do they always send the poor? But Red Arm Transporter, better to touch grass than to touch cloth. 100%, man. Ireland 43211. Back in Sweden, Martin, or still in Mayo. Back in Mayo, mate. God, we had a nice cold and snowy winter in Denmark. Nice to be able to shake the lakes or skate the lakes after work. Better than grey rain. Yeah, it thawed out the day I was leaving, or the morning I was leaving. For me, I like good hot summers and good cold winters. That's the way I like it. And usually in their most extreme, I love freezing, like minus 15, 20, and plus 30 in the summer. And then you get a good touch of the seasons. Razor light, all my life, oh, wanking in America. Right, well, look, I'm up at the hour now, so I'll love you and leave you. Thanks very much for watching. Please do give it a like. I can see there's only 14 likes, there's 21 of you. So I know that if you press the like button now, I don't even know how you do that from this point of view, but Graham Russell, mate, fucking Graham. Howie Martin, whatever happened to Zambezi Nights? Was that an actual real shop you opened in Swinford? That was just an empty shop, Graham Russell. Graham Russell, fucking love you, Graham Russell, lot. Jack Russell's snapping at the heels of Rothweiler. Yeah, do you get me? They're running around out there writing Frenchies of grass, skulking around. And you can see the envy and the jealousy just oozing out of them. What you do if one of your crew gets shot, yeah? What can you do? Give him a 10 grand too. Do you know what I mean? Now it's going up to 24. All of a sudden, do you know what I mean? I'm in the flow of it, but I said I've had to fucking sling me hook. Chris Gavigan, why didn't you bring down the fucking microphones to me so I could start doing the Hardy Bucks podcast, lad? I might have to take the car out and visit the henchman Gavigan. There might be a bit of, we might be going down onto Stevie Kelly's podcast later on. I don't know, mate. But any of you watching now, please do download the latest episode of the Hardy Bucks podcast. It's going to be funny. You will not regret it. It's the best podcast in the world, according to me. But I'm going to sling me hook now, ladies and gentlemen. Love you very much. Have a great day. And much like myself, put the phone down and do some push-ups, lad. All right. Chat.